CBS News contributor Bob Schieffer spoke last night with Republican Senator John McCain. The conversation took place at the International Republican Institute's Freedom Dinner. Bob Schieffer asked John McCain about the Comey memo and questions surrounding the Trump administration.
The only thing I can say is I think we've seen this movie before. I think it's reaching the point where it's of Watergate size and scale and a couple of other scandals that you and I have seen. It's a centipede that the shoe continues to drop.
What would you advise President Trump to do about this?
Same thing that you and others advised Richard Nixon, which he didn't do, and others that have been involved in something of this nature. Get it all out. It's not going to be over until every aspect of it is thoroughly examined and the American people have made a judgment. And the longer you delay, the longer it's going to last.
Bob Schieffer joins us now from Washington. Bob, good morning to you. You know, there seems to be a lot of dropping shoes these days. What was your reaction when you heard John McCain use the word Watergate, and now we're hearing impeachment too?
Well, John McCain is what they call a straight shooter. This is not the first time I've gotten a straight answer for him. John McCain and I go back a long ways. In fact, I interviewed his father in Vietnam in 1966 before I even knew him. John McCain is deeply worried about this. I think he believes that Donald Trump is in serious trouble right now, and it is up to Donald Trump to get himself out of it. He meant that and repeated it. He has to get all the facts out on the table. He has to find some way to reassure people that what this is all about. And as I talked to many Republicans last night, their feeling is growing that until they get this settled, not much else is going to happen with the Trump administration.
Bob, there's also this feeling that what might be the straw that breaks the camel's back, and that it has to be someone or a group of people from within the Republican Party, within the Congress, who go to the president and say, these are the circumstances. Unless something happens here, you're going to be in even deeper trouble than you ever imagined.
I don't think, Charlie, we're to that point yet. But I think the next thing that has to happen, I think Comey will come before one of the committees on Capitol Hill, and he will give his version of this whole memo thing. Once that happens, then we'll know where this goes after that. I talked to one Republican. This was a heavily Republican audience last night. I talked to one Republican who said, look, he can either go the way of Richard Nixon or he can go the way of Ronald Reagan. He has got to get this all out on the table once and for all. And until he does that, we really don't know what's going to happen. But this thing has been raised a notch, Charlie. This is escalated beyond where it was last week.
One of the other details that we're learning from the New York Times' excellent reporting is that right before the president allegedly told his FBI director to let it go on the Flynn investigation, he told his Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, and his Vice President, Mike Pence, to leave the room.
Yes, and McCain, I asked McCain about this last night, and one of the things he said was he is dealing, President Trump is dealing with a very smart lawyer right now. I mean, apparently he made these memos and told others about it. So there will be others who will be able to testify if that becomes necessary, what happened when this meeting was taking place. This is becoming very, very serious. Senator McCain said last night he does not yet think it is to the point of obstruction of justice, but so much now depends on what former Director Comey tells Congress. He's almost certain to come there and testify before some committee.
Go ahead, Norah.
I thought one of the most interesting things, too, of your conversation last night, McCain has distrusted Russia for many years, but what he said about President Trump inviting the Russian foreign minister and ambassador into the Oval Office was tough.
It was unbelievable. I mean, he said, and let me just read here, he said, being friendly with a guy whose boss, Vladimir Putin, sent aircraft with precision weapons to attack hospitals in Aleppo, it is unacceptable. I would never, ever invite him into the Oval Office.
Yeah, he called him an old KGB stooge, yeah.
Yes, when he said that, the room erupted in very heavy applause. I take that to mean that Republicans are becoming worried about where this goes from here.
And what else is interesting is if the president has been taping all his conversations, will somebody get hold of those tapes, and what impact will that have?
Well, I think they'll certainly try to subpoena them. Somebody will, if in fact there are such tapes, and this will be another of those details that we'll find out in the coming week. But I just want to emphasize again, this has moved up a notch to where it was last week when it was about, White House aides running around trying to get their story straight. This is really concerning Republicans. Mitch McConnell said yesterday we could do with less drama. And what he was saying was, look, until we get this settled, we're going to have a hard time moving this agenda.
Bob, thank you so much.
Thank you.